Hey, it's day 143 of Hey, what are you doing today? Um, what a difference a day makes. I mean, I guess it's one of those things that I was really going through some tough stuff the last 2 days, and even my videos, I was in like this dark hole, this dark and I don't know what it is that overcomes me. Sometimes I almost feel like it's maybe a mental illness or something, but it's just somehow I'll get so wrapped up in the negative side of my emotions or negative thoughts that they cling on, and they just it's hard to break away, and it's hard to no matter how hard I want to, it's hard to shake that energy or that feeling and that what's going on, whatever I'm stressed or worried about. And I'm sure that's a very common thing with a lot of people. I joke about it being a mental illness, but only because that's what it feels like sometimes when I get so caught up in a stressful event, or just a down kind of feeling, that it almost the mind kind of plays tricks on me, kind of thing, and it makes me doubt myself, or the depression feels so heavy, or the pressure on my chest, that's from the stress. Sometimes stress almost makes you feel like you're having a heart attack or something. At least I can speak for myself. It's such it's a compounding thing, but I don't want to concentrate on that. I just want to mention, what a difference a day makes. Just a little change of perspective. What a huge, I guess just to kind of stick with that is that there's always that sunrise. Every day there's a sunrise. Even in the darkest of times. Sometimes you go through the darkest of times just so you can enjoy that sunrise just that much more. If the sun never rose, but it's just always up and always sunny, it wouldn't be such a great thing anymore. It's the sunrise, the sun. In fact, the sun does come up after the darkness. That makes it feel good. And it's kind of went through one of those days. And another interesting thing is, I never know where I'm going to get the information from that really changes the perspective, or adds, or as I said, this is kind of a growth thing. And for me, I can feel myself grow. I can feel something enter into my system, enter into my life, enter into my psyche, enter into my thoughts, and I can actually literally feel myself grow on some plane. I don't know how to describe that plane, mental, physical, spiritual, whatever, but it's some plane where there's a growth. And oddly enough, it came from listening to a brief biography on Ford. I think it was something that came out while he was still alive. I believe the publishing date was like 1918 on it or something. So it didn't get too advanced into Henry Ford, but one of his principles was, and that's another thing that I've been doing, is just, as I've taken in information from different places. Another thing is just studying people that have been successful in their lives for whatever reason. Ford is one of the ones that came to me. I just finished this biography that I was listening to yesterday. But his thing was, he really didn't. He was driven by the passion of creating something. And money wasn't the driving factor. Being in control of a huge business wasn't the driving factor. What was the driving factor was this little engine that he had been working on, and the idea that he had of making the automobile inexpensive and useful for the common good of humanity, and making it affordable. And he took those principles as the business grew. He took those principles, and there's a story about when he declared that all men should make $5 a day, which was apparently an incredible wage back then. Not an incredible wage, but after he announced that, the streets around the Ford factory filled with a mob of people looking for a job, and they had to turn a fire hose on them to avoid a riot, or to avoid any kind of complication. They didn't want the police to come down and then there'd be a riot, so he turned the fire on them. Sorry, a little distraction there, but anyway, his little philosophy, his little principle was, do it for the greater benefit, the benefit of everybody, and from that you'll receive, what's yours, you'll receive your share. And I never really thought of it that way. Big driving force has been me, me, me. I want to be successful. I want to, and the other thing too is, one of my daily goals is to do something for someone else. However minuscule that is, I want to try to make it a goal to do something for someone. And last night, my uplifting thing was helping somebody out that was in a tough situation. A stranger, but I just stopped and took some time to help them out, and the reward I got from that was so huge. It wasn't a monetary reward. It wasn't anything. It was just nothing tangible, but just that sense of accomplishment, just that good feeling of having done something that I didn't have to do, and just the sacrifice I made to do it. So it was good stuff, and that little event, changed my perspective. I still came home with such negative emotions, but I woke up this morning and all of a sudden it was like the world had alleviated it, and that different thought, that different frame of mind, the different patterns had changed everything. And I came into work today and I was like, the whole attitude was different. I immediately ran into two clients of mine that were good clients, people I enjoyed talking with, and they were here and they were happy to see me. I was happy to see them, and I had two new clients that I met today that were awesome people, really fun to hang out with, really fun to talk to. And then I had another third old client that came back. So it was just one of those things where like all of a sudden the world was giving back again. It was just that one little element of giving to somebody else, and the whole ether of the universe opened up and just kind of gave back to me. And I didn't do it for that, but it's just funny that all those principles tie together. And that was, Ford's little philosophy is, do it for the greater good. He was all about profit sharing and, giving out bonuses that weren't expected to his people and those kind of things. So, it's just good stuff. So, do it for the greater good, and it'll come back to you. So it's a, lesson learned, and change perspective on things. And I guess that's it. So that's day 143. The sun rose. So thanks. I'll see you.